Good afternoon to everyone joining us today. We are here with the Marigot. Once again, we are here with the Marigot Working Group in honor of our heroes and ancestors, the men and women who sacrificed strength, wisdom, and culture helped shape the Marigot we know today. This afternoon gathering is Today we reflect, we learn, and we discuss how we can continue preserving the spirit, culture, and heritage of Marigot for generations to come. To everyone listening and viewing, thank you for being here with us. Let us have a meaningful and uplifting conversation. At this time, we want to focus on an important initiative being led by the Marigot Working Group, the effort to officially register, recognize the heroes and ancestors of our community. For many years, the stories, sacrifices, and contribution of countless men and women helped shape the Marigot into what it is today. Some of these stories are well known, while many others remain within families and the memories of community members. This initiative is about preserving that legacy, ensuring that the names, histories, and contribution of our people are documented and remembered for future generations. We now want to hear more from the working group about this meaningful drive, how the wider community can get involved. We're gonna start with our good doctor there, Mr. Alfred. Oh, by the way, viewers, we are here with Miss Debbie Blackman, Dr. Peter Alfred, and my dear English teacher, Mrs. the hard marker, Mrs. Winnie Fiddy. So she's gonna get some hard questions for what she did back then in school. So, Doc, can you tell us about the drive to officially register and recognize the heroes and ancestors of Marigot?
Yeah, good afternoon, Ronnie. Good afternoon to your viewers. The drive is actually a continuous one. If we want to put it that way, we started 2 years ago. 2 years ago, so this is the third annual tribute, and it's by way of inviting members of the community, persons living in Marigot, persons out of Marigot, but who are from Marigot, to register their ancestors, so that we could honor them, ecumenical service, roll call, tokens, tokens of recognition, tokens of tokens of honor. So for now, that's what we have done. We are just about getting into the aspect of doing the recording, doing the writing of the histories. But by and large, that is a task, that's a responsibility that we would like the families to be responsible for. In terms of individual families, identify persons among them, their siblings, their relatives, who they would want to give the responsibility of taking on the task of highlighting their family stories, centered around one or two persons within their families, and build a history, a family history around that. So it's really a call. It's really an encouragement. It so happens that this year there is a book written by one of the sons of our soil, an autobiography. He's still here. He's very much still here with us. Mr. Jeremy Robinson, former Robinson, down by Manasseh Wall, going towards the day.
Robo.
Who,
Robo.
yeah, Robo's relative, right? Who wrote a book about his service to the country, very illustrious service in terms of he being a surveyor. So he wrote his autobiography, and he played a very important role in the civil service in the development of Dominica through the 50s, the 60s, up to the 80s, up to the 90s. So he wrote his autobiography, and we got to know of the book, and we contacted his family, they will be sharing with us on Saturday some excerpts from the book. So it's really those sort of activities that we want to encourage, that we would like our people to be involved in. I'll pass on to your favorite English teacher.
Teacher Windif, as we have this working group and then we have this Heroes Park here, what inspired this initiative and why is it important at this time?
Heroes Park. Well, I guess as the name indicates, these are just some of the heroes or some of the people we recognize. And I guess you're referring to those right here. Okay. Although I'm almost sure you're aware that this group is not part of that. No. But however, these are some of our heroes, and I'm also sure you're aware that some of these people here on some of the plaques here, the people are still alive. However, this group we are recognizing the roles that those have passed on, have made to our community. And as was mentioned, Mr. Robinson, although he has not passed on, he's one who who has already started to write about the history of Marigat. I am sure Dr. Alfred will remind our viewers, or I think it was mentioned in our first session, that we will be looking at the role of John Robin. Most people in Marigot know the name of John Robin, so that will be highlighted when we get to the point where we are doing the actual history writing of some of Marigot's greats.
Right, thanks.
Ms. Blackman, how does the registration work and who can submit names or information?
Okay. As Dr. Alfred Mrs. Henderson indicated, we are documenting and we are registering and allowing loved ones to celebrate their ancestors. So what we have done, we have partnered with Shop DM 767 events. So you can go live onto their platform. You will see our page, Marigot History Working Group, and there you can go in and register your loved ones. You pay a little registration fee of $5, and you can register as many people that you want. And all we are asking, you put their name in, you put their date of birth, the date they transitioned, and the area in Marigot in which they lived when they were alive. And we also have a little shop on Shop DM that they can buy mementos and tokens of appreciation, such as balloons and these lovely tiki torches that you have here, that they can dedicate at the ceremony tomorrow in the name of their loved ones. On Saturday, May 9th, 9 o'clock at the scenic location, Heroes Park. Now, I'm sorry to let you all know that the registration was closed on May 3rd, but next year you can get ready. So once registration is open, you can start registering your loved ones for edition number 4.
Doc, we want to get the younger people involved, the youth, because they say, I don't even know how I consider myself, whether so
You got to make up your mind.
yes. How can the younger generation become involved in documenting and preserving this history?
Yeah, well, the younger generation definitely has a role to play, and we are trying to incorporate the younger generation. We are taking steps to incorporate the younger generation. For example, tomorrow, some of our members will be going to the primary school, the Will Strathmore Primary School, to speak to the students at assembly time, assembly 9 o'clock, so we should be there. We will be there. Well, I mean, please God. And prior to that, we'll also be going over to the Northeast Comprehensive High School to speak to the students, to speak to the young people about the activity, and so that they could be here on Saturday. Another step that we have taken is to get in touch with the young people in Marigot who have organized themselves and who are organizing themselves into the Marigot Youth Zone Initiative. We have gotten in touch with them through one of our members, Chanja Green, and they are very much involved in this activity that will take place in another 48 hours. They will be helping, maybe participating in the activities, and we hope to continue engaging with them on a regular basis after Saturday, because the real work is not Saturday. Saturday will be an event, but then there has to be continuity after the event. So we are really hoping to build out a movement, because even following on a discussion that I had been this week with one of our colleagues in the village, Richard Charles. I don't want to call him my elder, but we are all elders, to put it that way. He asked the question about what we are doing through the history working group, in addition to recognizing the history, what we are doing and what we plan to do to impact the future. So we had a nice discussion around that, and that is what this group is all about. Is the taking note of the past, understanding, recognizing the past, but bearing in mind that it's really about the present and the future. So I think I'll hold up on that for now. Thanks.
Teacher Windiff, what impact do you hope this registration drive will have on the Marigot in the years to come?
Well, I'm hoping that as more people get involved, and especially the youth, we are hoping that they can actually foresee what we are doing and continue, because we all, I am the eldest one sitting here, and and yes, as is expected, we will all transition, but we are hoping that this can continue. And in reference to what Dr. Alfred mentioned about Mr. Charles asking about the future, basically the younger people who will be taking over, they are the ones who will be actually working towards that future. So hopefully this will impact them in some way or another, and it is critical, it is of great urgency that they come on board, because for lack of a better term, I guess they have to understudy us to see where we are going, and they can benefit so they themselves can continue.
Ms. Debbie,
Yes, sir.
what message would you like to send to families who may be hesitant or unsure about participating?
They're saying you're giving me the easy questions. Yes. I think it's an opportunity for you to remember a loved one, for you to show your love for that loved one, to just celebrate them. So you have an opportunity to come together with a lot of other people who want to do the same thing, and you can share stories, you can share details, you can talk about your loved one. There may be something specific that that person used to do, so you'll be able to share that with the younger generation, because that's basically one of the aspects of our project, that we have to sort of preserve those templates to pass on to the younger ones. Because when you speak to the younger generation here, and you say, do you know, ever heard of Will Stevens? They'll say, who? And I mean, these are people who are iconic in the society, so you would think that the history would be carried on so that they would understand who Will Stevens was, what he stood for. So that's what we really want to do in celebrating the ancestors, to keep them alive in our memory, for want of a better term.
Doc, do you believe there are many community heroes whose stories have not been told?
I would say definitely yes. That there are a whole lot of persons whose stories have not been told, and that is what we want to do, to to get the understanding, get that desire among from our people to really know about us ourselves as a community. Because I mean, I'm sitting here with Wendy and Debbie, and I'm sure that each of them have perhaps 5, 10, 15, 20 persons who they consider as heroes. And perhaps of those 40 between each of them, it might just be the both. It might just be about 10 or 15 who I might consider as heroes. So yes, it's really there we want to get. Let the members of our community give them the opportunity, let them feel that urge, if you want to call it, to know about the persons on whose foundation, on whose shoulders we are standing, and to recognize them, and also to sort of internalize what the good aspects, the strength of those persons, and to help us, them and us now and going into the future. And I just want to draw the distinction between the heroes of Heroes Park and all the ancestors and all the other heroes who are out there in America.
Right. I just want to add something to what Peter said. Um, as you're aware, or as your viewers are aware, last year we focused on agriculture, and this year we are focusing on education. So we'll be looking at the work and highlighting some of our ancestors, right, Pastor? However, I am I want people to realize that we are only selecting a few, in the sense that there are a lot more that we could identify. Okay, there are some people who we identify and we didn't receive the information in a timely fashion. However, there are other areas that we have to recognize. For example, our fishermen, okay? And people may have heard of Will Strathmore. People may have heard of Pat Stevens, Mr. Kenneth Samuel, and so on and so forth. However, there are other people who may have been in the background, and we have to tell their stories, because when we tell their stories, it may be new to some of the people in our society, although these people have lived here. So it is important that we identify all these people, and not necessarily, in a setting like this, but at least they will be part of the history which we are trying to write.
We remain with you, teacher Wendy.
Thank you, Ronnie.
What changes would you like to see in Marigot in the future?
Wow, that's a deep one.
That's an easy one.
No, 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 no.
For someone like you.
Okay, leave it at that. Leave it at that. Just ask me the
That's an
question. What
easy one.
changes? Wow. Ronnie. You send me
This was for the youth, but seeing that they are not here,
Yeah,
I think I want you to answer for them.
I hear you. Wow. I mean, this can go so many ways.
Or are there changes that you would like to see?
Oh, absolutely. But I will answer this on a very superficial level instead of going deep into it. Okay. What changes? I mean, when we look at Marigot, for example, number one, the first thing I would like to see a cleaner Marigot. And I mean, people don't need to take offense to this, but I remember as a young person growing up, in Marigot. We took pride in our surroundings. I remember when we had the tidy village competition, the backyard gardening, etc. And that is no longer there. I think we as a people, we are a proud people, but there are so many ways that can be displayed and we are not. I would really like to us to take better care of our surroundings. That's one of the major things that I would like to see. Unfortunately, our population in Marigot is shrinking, or in Dominica by extension is shrinking. So that in itself creates a problem because, as you are very much aware on it, the majority of young people migrate for whatever reason. And the few of us, the elderly who are there, we have to be involved doing certain things, or we are in several groups trying to assist, in whatever shape or form that we can. I would like to see more young people getting involved. However, at the same time, we don't have too many young people. So, that's a problem there. But there are many things. But first and foremost, I wanted to take a pride in keeping our surroundings and in keeping our surroundings clean. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc, I want you to expound a little bit on that part of the question.
But Ronnie, what can I tell you? Yeah, there are so many things that could be said, and I mean, I really don't want to be to sound kind of yeah, political or accusatory or anything of the sort. But but
For those of you who may not know Dr. Peter Alfred, he's the brother to Bob, Gary. Anybody else, Doc?
Keith,
Keith?
Keith,
I don't know Keith. Well, I never know you until
a couple months ago,
a couple years
couple
ago.
years ago, right?
Yeah, and he's the son of Maboyin
Yeah,
and
Mr. Boy.
Mr. Boyin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who do not know who he is, just want you to, I guess you all know Miss Blackman, Debbie Blackman, and well, everybody knows Teacher Wendy. So continue. Doc.
Right. So one of the changes I would want, or one of the things that I would want to see, is the greater involvement of the youth in school activities, in church activities, in community activities. And well, I'm thinking about back then in the 60s and 70s when I grew up, right? But a very important factor in our participation during that time was the family. I wouldn't even call it family structure. It was of the family because it's not even so much about the family with husband and wife and that sort of thing. But it was just that close, more closely knit family, the extended family in terms of the grandmother and the grandfather and the aunties and the uncles. I mean, back in the day, we had uncles, right? And it wasn't only a sort of maternal, when I say a sort of blood connection. It was an uncle because of the relationship with our parents and the sort of age factor. And perhaps I could just give a quick story. I mean, sometime last year I was speaking with some youngsters. So the whole matter of who you are and which part of America you come from came up. So when I started explaining to the gentleman, the youngster, who I was, who I am, I said, Ma, I was going to identify my mother. So I started by saying, Ma. He didn't even give me the courtesy of finishing the name, As soon as I say Ma, he said, oh, if things you start with Ma, them kind of people there, them is old time days, I don't know those people there. You understand? So, so apart from the shock, apart from, I don't want to call it disrespect and insult, but I mean, that is one of the situations that would never happen when we were growing up 30, 40 years ago. I mean, a cocktail would have passed a long time. So it's this whole thing about discipline. I think if that could come back, and the church played a very important role in that. The Boy Scout, the Girls Brigade, and So that is just one of the areas where it. So I know that Debbie has a whole lot to say. So
I like that.
Yes,
So just
yeah,
go
yes.
straight to it.
Um, what I would want to add for Marigot, I would really like to see us go back to agriculture, go back to our backyard gardens, go back to the days when you didn't have to go to the shop to buy meat. That you'd take a chicken in your pen, or you'd kill a goat, or you'd kill a rabbit, or you would kill a sheep. So so to me, those days were us being self-sufficient and not having to depend on imports and us eating healthy. Because I mean, if you look at the population and the way things are going, look at you have people living to 103, 110, 195, and they're still up and walking and very active. And if you notice, you look at the death announcements in the last couple months, it's people in their 60s, 40s, 30s that are passing. So that says something that our ancestors ate well, and they ate what we now pay big money for, organic food. When we had organic food that we grew in our yards every day. Because growing up, we never bought onions. You just go out in the garden and pull up a scythe, and that would be your seasoning for your pot. We never bought all this bohayo and badia seasonings and all of those things. So I think that if we start going back to agriculture, going back to our backyard gardens, it keeps the young people focused. It gives them a purpose, and it also helps to build their character. Because I think too often when I walk to Marigot and I see, every corner you turn, you see a set of them just sitting by the road doing nothing. I mean, people may get upset with me saying that, but that's the reality. Yes, that is the reality in Marigot right now. And I mean, right now you're looking for somebody to power wash your yard, and you can't get anybody. So I have to be power washing my yard with my poor little back that's hurting me, or when because you can't get anyone to do that stuff for you. So I mean, it's time we return back to the hardworking people that we were, and not the persons just depending on handouts. And I said that. Yep.
you start telling you a lot to say.
You were right about that.
Um, Doc,
Yep.
what is the one thing about old time Marigot that should never disappear?
Yeah, but that's a very good question. I think the brotherly love, if you want to call it that, because I mean I remember growing up and the relationship with my parents and persons the age group, be it family or otherwise. I mean I know how close mommy used to feel to persons who she was close with, including Wendy's mother. And even on my father's side, there is this gentleman, well, it's Uncle Tommy, you call him, Thomas Abraham. And I mean, it never ever crossed our mind that Uncle Tommy was anything less than a very, very good uncle, you follow? And so that sort of brotherhood and closeness that existed back then, and Kudme and my partner IP is very strong on the whole question of Kudme and persons working together. So that especially, I wouldn't mind us getting back.
Well, since you asked, I will. In addition to that, yes, I totally agree. The whole family structure, everybody being together. It's like sometimes, not too much in my case, but I know there were families where, you would call somebody auntie and you didn't know maybe until you were maybe a teenager or even older that that person wasn't your biological aunt. So as Peter mentioned, yes, that togetherness in families, that was extremely important. um I also believe that we 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 were able to enjoy the little that we had. We weren't rich. And when I say we were rich in so many ways, not necessarily financially, but we were rich in so many ways. And today we have so much more money, and yet we are so unhappy. Okay. I believe we at least we all know, we at least three of us sitting up here, we all know that it isn't money that makes happiness. And all ancestors, they definitely didn't have that, but they had a rich, enjoyable, happy life. And yeah, I would like to see that.
Debbie?
Um, I think I would like to see the church play a bigger role in community development. I would like to see the church be pastors to its congregation in every aspect, not just on a Sunday. Because growing up, I can only speak from growing up. We were part of the Girls Brigade. We were part of the Youth Fellowship. We were part of the evangelical times that we had. We were part of a family. And I mean, it's kind of really disheartening to go to church and church has like 20 people. So it's saying something. It's saying that we are failing somewhere. So I think, I don't know if it starts with the family that maybe, because I know growing up, my mother would say, you all can go wherever all you want to go Saturday night, but Sunday morning, all you go into church. So we grew up with that, and church was you had to go to church. It was nothing about I don't want to go. You had to go to church. So I don't know if that's what's missing from families today, that parents don't insist their children go to church. Because the young people, I mean, people may take me to task for that, but a lot of young people don't even know where the church is. They don't. And I think at the church needs to take the bull by the horn and be the catalyst to bring these children back to the fold. I said it.
Whilst I may agree with Debbie, I have to let her know that the numbers are very few. People don't have children anymore. And the few who are there, they migrate. So that's one of the problems. I remember as a child, every month rather, we had infants for baptism.
As they say, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few.
Exactly. You got it, Ronnie. And I remember as a young person at church, every month we had baptism, 9, 10, 11, 12 children. Now, if we have 3 a year, that's a lot. People aren't having children anymore. And the few who are having children, they migrate, they have the children. So once the children get to a certain age, goodbye, Marigot, goodbye, Dominica.
Yeah, thanks.
So guys, we are having an activity on Saturday to honor our ancestors, our heroes. Can you tell us more about this activity on Saturday?
Yeah, and Ronnie, you see the Heroes Park, the public again, is really to honor our ancestors. So we really want to get it.
Also, the heroes part.
Totally different.
Oh,
Right.
Because the heroes are dead and living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
The ancestors.
And so everybody back. Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So, run the question again, please. What was the question?
About the activity on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Right. So the activity on Saturday is scheduled to begin at 3 o'clock. 2:30 with an exhibition around by the village council office, where, as Peter Winwich said, we'll be highlighting our teachers, all the teachers from Marigot who are no longer with us. We'll have their names. I think it's about 30 names thereabout, and there will be write-ups on 20, I think about 21, 22, based on the information that we got from the relatives. There'll be artifacts. That program is being put together by our member, Miss Jean Jacob, and she's doing some very good work in that regard. then then at 4 o'clock the main activity begins. Debbie has all the details in terms of the program. Persons have registered their ancestors, but Debbie has the details. So I just ask her to continue.
Okay, so on Saturday at 4 o'clock, Heroes Park will come alive with singing, storytelling, roll call of ancestors, flames of love, memories of love. So we're going to start off the event with the clergy giving some words of comfort and the welcoming by the Methodist minister. We will have quiet singing from local persons in the community, and then we will have these, I call them flames of love sessions that we will have. So we'll have a session where persons will honor their ancestors using these sticky torches. So some persons have bought these sticky torches, so they will come up and light these torches in remembrance of their loved ones. Some persons have gone for the balloons, so those will be released into the air after we have done the roll call. And we'll be doing that roll call based on zones. So these zones are the hamlets of within Marigot, and there's 9 of them, starting from Concord all the way to 6 Acre. And then we will have a session of candle lighting, which will also be another type of commemoration of the ancestors. So all in all, Heroes Park will be aflame on Saturday. It will be lit, according to the young people would say, as we honor our ancestors.
I don't have anything else to add to that, really. All I can say to the listening public, to viewership, to just come out and see what is taking place here on Saturday evening. Come out and see the exhibition, come out and remember what our ancestors stood for, and just come out and have fun. Socialize.
Anything else to say as we run along, Doc?
No, I think maybe and when this kind of cover everything, there will be some what we spoke about the bonfire.
There will be a bonfire.
Yeah,
also?
there'll be 2 bonfires on the stage here, similar to what was done last year. I think that quite a few of us might remember some of the bonfires that used to be held right there on the churchyard. So yeah, so that sort of thing. Right?
Did we have a tragedy back in the years?
With bonfires?
Yeah.
No. And as we spoke about tragedy, I mean, every time I come here, right, I remember one tragedy that took place across on the hillside there, when that the roller for the cricket pitch, when it rolled down. So yeah, that's the only tragedy.
Because I think I heard of a story where 2 guys clash.
Yeah.
No, they were trying to jump and they clashed.
No.
Right there on the. I'll tell you the story of.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I cannot remember that.
Yeah, maybe might be too sensitive, so.
Right.
I don't want to say it on air.
Yeah. So it's about that. I mean, the tiki torches. There'll be these lights. What do you call them? Like that? Yeah, solar lights. So
These are solar lights. These here.
Yeah, these are solar. Right.
Let's take a look at the solar lights.
Make it right.
So all this is gonna be.
Right. Yeah, if you could get a good shot of that. Yeah. And some still have some available.
So, those of you who may not have had the opportunity to register a loved one, but you still have the opportunity to buy a tiki torch and get a ribbon adorned with your ancestor's name, and you can come up and physically honor your ancestor by lighting that tiki torch. So we have a few left. So just go on down to 767 events, hit on the ancestor shop, and you can do some shopping, browsing and shopping. By the way, Ronnie, did you register your ancestor?
Did I?
Register your ancestor.
I did that a couple of years ago, Doc, I think.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be done every year.
Every year, yes.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I'll leave that for next year.
All right.
But you can still buy a tiki torch.
Yes, I was just
And we
about
can
to say
have
that.
her name written on
Yes,
her ribbon, and you can take your tiki torch home
can I
with you.
get 3 ticket? How much
Yeah.
is one, by the way, before?
It's very cheap. Very
For the
cheap.
people online,
Oh, yeah,
also
people
know.
It's very cheap, $50, and you get to take it home and have that memory stay in with you.
Well, I will get one for 3 of my family members. So I light it on behalf of 3 of my family members
Okay.
who recently passed.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
So, guys, as we come to the end of today's discussion, we want to sincerely thank the Marigot Working Group,
History working group.
Marigot History Working Group,
Right. Yeah.
for taking part in this important conversation, honoring our heroes and ancestors. Our ancestors is not just about remembering the past, it's about building the future with pride, unity, and respect for where we come from. Let us continue to preserve the stories, tradition, and values that makes Marigot special, and let us encourage a younger generation to carry that torch forward. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And those who shared and support this initiative, continue to stay connected, stay proud of your roots, and continue uplifting our community. Blessings to everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
Amen.
Bye,
And we could
guys.
thank you, right? Before you switch off, we'd like to thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, you're not thanking me.
Oh, yes. Yes, Ronnie, thank you. Thank you so much for helping us to bring our story. And for you, I mean, we gave you very short notice and you rose to the occasion, and we really want to say thank you for that. And we look forward to seeing you Saturday,
At 2 o'clock, right?
bringing the event, the total event, when this park comes alive.
And we truly appreciate it, Ronnie, knowing that you weren't well yesterday. So,
Definitely.
yes, thanks a lot.
Ronnie will be here in spirit, but not somebody else is gonna be here for Ronnie until I come.
Okay.
Because I have another activity, as I say, try to kill 2 birds with one stone. But somebody will be here to start the program, and then I will join maybe around 4 o'clock.
Okay. All
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you,
Take care. Have
viewers.
a good evening, everyone.
Later then. Forward.